Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and you know me. I'm Mr. XRP here, big on XRP, my favorite coin out there, based on sheer, well, the technology. Okay, fine, but real world adoption. And I'm going to talk to you about something a little bit different today. It's also kind of partly about like the whole crypto space in general. And it has to do with this headline from globalcoinreport.com, which got me thinking. The title of this piece is, "Watch out for Binance coin, BNB, in the next bull run. It might hit $200. And before I get going, I just wanted to say if you would delicately tap that thumbs up there, just give it a little tap there. Definitely appreciate that. Help support the channel. And if you don't subscribe and you don't completely hate everything coming out of my mouth, please consider subscribing. Definitely really appreciate the support, especially for a tiny little old channel like mine that's only been around for a few months. Now, as I had stated in previous videos and just stated a moment ago, for me it's all about utility. Like, why, when I got into crypto, I've said in the past, why do over 2,000 coins exist? Well, when I jumped in, it was more like 1,300 listed on CoinMarketCap, somewhere around there. And I was like, they don't do anything. There's no adoption. Some of them they're very samey. I'm like, why do they all exist? They don't. It doesn't make any sense. And then I came across XRP, and I was like, wow, there's actual utility here. How cool is this? And so I read this here, and I know a little bit about Binance coin because I've used Binance in the past a fair bit. You get discounted fees when you're trading on Binance if you use that. Now, that said, I've been using Uphold exclusively for, probably at this point almost a full year. Yeah, probably. Whenever, maybe it was, maybe it was summer of last year. And they're just really pro XRP, pro Ripple, and just super easy to use. So I've been using Uphold as my exchange of choice. Now, that said, like I said, Binance, cool. I had seriously great experience on Binance. And Binance is kind of like taking over the world. They've surpassed Coinbase, haven't they, in terms of volume, certainly sentiment out there in the crypto world. And so when I came across this, it just got me thinking about Binance coin because I hadn't thought about it in some time. And I don't think I've even talked about it in the past, but I do recognize the coin as having utility. And, some people could, frown upon it when, the utility comes from, if you're a maximalist of Bitcoin or anything else, you could frown upon utility that comes from the necessity of a business because, granted, this thing, even if it's decentralized, in terms of real-world adoption, it might not really take hold if Binance were to go away, right? I'm not sure of anybody else building on this blockchain, right? I don't know exactly how it works, and from a technological perspective, I haven't really researched it. But I understand if you're a Bitcoin maximalist, that's how you think. That's not my worldview. I just don't look at things like that. I'm cool with developers, being businesses typically, building on top of the XRP ledger, for example. And so even in this case, if Binance were the only one to provide utility, but it is in a decentralized fashion, and people can trade this digital asset wherever they want, well, that's cool. That's good enough for me because I see Binance as blowing up. And so none of this is financial advice. I'm not making a prediction, and I'm not even saying that I'm going to buy any Binance coin. I never have. I don't own any. But it was an interesting topic, and maybe I will. I don't know. I just thought I'd share this with you because anytime there's a coin that I see could have actual utility, I want to share it with you. And this case, the utility comes from supporting the trading within the cryptocurrency asset class on a particular exchange. Fine, but if you're like me and you believe that the cryptocurrency asset class is here to stay, then you look for the winners. You look for the exchanges that are going to have staying power and could be here for decades and decades and decades. And in this case, Binance currently anyway, and they could all crash and burn, whatever, who knows what could happen. But that's not the case right now, and they are completely stomping on all the competition here, and they've got their own cryptocurrency. And there's all sorts of use cases here, all sorts of, a couple. Primary one, admittedly fine. Discounted trading fee. So once the market comes back, if you believe like me that it's here forever, and if Binance continues to have success, well, of course, one would think rationally the coin would get used more frequently, and the value in turn would go up over time, right? And I had no idea. Check this out, though. I found this interesting, especially as I was comparing performance-wise to XRP, which again, XRP is still my personal favorite, the one that I continue to purchase on a regular basis, but I had no idea. If you had asked me, so what's the value of a Binance coin today, I'd be like, I don't know what it ever has been. I don't know that I've ever really analyzed it. And so I did look at it just because of this article, and I thought it was kind of interesting. But anyway, so I looked back to the inception of the Binance coin was July of 2017, and the price was super low, and it never got this low ever again once it launched. It was around 10 or 11 cents, it looks like, and then it kind of spiked up and was mostly flat for a pretty long time until the craziness of the bull run really started getting going, November, December range. And so it went from 10 cents in July of 2017 up to, I think the article I read said it was around $24. The highest I can get in this little view right here on Live Coin Watch shows, it was like 22 or something like that. And then it did what the rest of the crypto market did, and it cratered, and it got down to, under $5, $4.50, something like that. And so the coin, it lost about 80% of its value. And the article cited XRP having lost, even more value than Bitcoin, this or that. And fair enough, but I also did want to point out that even though that's true, it's because XRP also had substantially greater gains than Bitcoin in terms of percent increase. So I did want to state that also. I'm glad I remembered that. But what's fascinating here is, in terms of the value that's come back, I didn't know that any crypto had even done this, so that was reason enough for me to share this with you once I looked into this. I was like, I'm going to make a video about this. Because it looks like the value got up to, today it's about $16.50 or something, but it got as high as like $17.35. So fascinating to me that there's any coin that lost about 80% of its value and then got to the point where it's only like 25% shy, 35% shy of its all-time high. Is there another coin that has done that? That I'm curious about. If you do know of one, please tell me. That's just pure curiosity. But yeah, again, this one's $16.50. So, had XRP had that type of percent recovery, then we'd be looking at a $2.50, $2.60 XRP each. No, not that I was even expecting that. And in terms of dollars, there's fewer of these, and it's a whole different ecosystem. So it's not necessarily fair to compare performance in that capacity, but just for the sake of thinking through a fun little mental exercise, I was like, that is kind of neat. And so, what will come of this? Is Binance coin going to exceed $200? Well, I think this is another one of those articles that's, they're putting a dollar figure out there just to get attention, I assume. But because where's this $200 figure come from? Where does that actually come from? They're just pulling it out of thin air. But again, like I said, since there is actual utility to it, and if the crypto asset class is here to stay, and if Binance keeps doing well, then Binance coin will continue to be here. It will persist. And also, last thing I'll mention here before I close up this video, Binance is in beta for a decentralized exchange, which will also utilize the coin. If that takes hold, that's just another opportunity for the value of the coin to grow over time. So for me, I'm always looking at, I'm always excited about a thriving digital asset class, really. So I'm all about having diversity of digital assets. It's just I don't see that many that have utility, and that's why I'm so excited about XRP. That's why it's almost exclusively what I talk about. But hey, man, look, not against Binance Coin. If they can serve a purpose and they got their own spot in the market, good for them. Different use cases, and that's why I'm not a maximalist for any digital asset. And I think it's silly to be. So what do you guys think? Drop a comment below. I'd love to interact with you and hear what you think and see if you agree with me, if you think I'm off base anywhere. Definitely value opinions, whether they're on the same page as mine, or if you think I'm wrong. That's fine. Tactfully tell me, and I like engaging in thought-provoking conversation. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. And again, that's like I always say in every video, I'm not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. To take it a step further, I am not qualified whatsoever. I have no expertise whatsoever in anything financial related. I'm just an enthusiast within the crypto community that likes engaging with you guys. So that's pretty much it, all right? So take that for what it's worth. And thanks so much for watching.